Hi there, it's me again, and Charlotte. I don't know if she's gonna keep barking. I thought today I would make a pie plate because it's getting to be spring and summer fruits are coming, and one of my very all-time favorite foods is pie. So I thought it would be a nice time to make some pie plates for summer pies. So I'm centering the clay out nice and low and wide. There's a bubble. It's always a bubble, no matter how well I wedge. I'm not a very good wedger. I don't like doing it, so I leave it a little bit. Okay, so I center it low and wide, and then I start to open the middle. I'm going to check my thickness. It's about that thick, so that's okay. So like a fat 1/4 inch. That's about as thin as I would want it. And that hole that I poked just gets sealed back up again through the process of throwing. So I keep opening across, and I'm opening trying to keep the bottom very flat and level. And as I open, I compress the part that I'm rolling out so that it all stays as one coil out here. And I like to make about an 8-inch pie, so I start with about a 9-inch base, so it's a little bit bigger than my hand. You find over the years that your hands become a very good gauge for measuring things, because then you don't have to stop and find a ruler, excuse me, a ruler or a caliper. You just use your hand. It's always attached to the end of the arm. You can always find it. I take the extra water out. I use that rib to flatten and compress the bottom because the clay particles are like little flat rectangles, and so they're all every which way in the clay. And so as we open it out, we want them all to lay down flat together, because when I squeeze the sides and bring the sides up, it's going to force all those little particles to line up and be nice and tight. And if the bottom is still all wibbly wobbly, I'll get a nest crack. And I don't want a nest crack in the bottom of my pie plate. So I use the rib and I press down fairly hard across the bottom to really make sure that I've compressed all of those loose particles so they're now down and flat and tight, just like my sides are going to be. So now that I've got the bottom done, I'm going to raise my sides. And I'm being careful to try and lift as even of a wall as I can. And usually 3 lifts is about what the clay likes. It starts to get a little too wet after that. So this is my 3rd pull. And depending how tall I make it, that just determines how deep of a dish of a pie we're going to have. So this will be a fairly deep dish pie. So maybe peach or apple. Berry pies tend to be a little flatter because the berries cook down. You can make a nice deep dish peach pie in one of these. And then I'll come over to your house and help you eat it. Okay, so now I'm going to use the rib on the outside, again, just to make sure that we've got our wall as tight as we can get it. And to take some of my finger marks out from throwing, I'm going to compress the rim one more time so that it's nice and smooth. And then I bend the rib out a little bit, or the rim out a little bit, and then I use my finger inside to create that slope. That's the outside wedge of the pie. And then the last thing I do is I dry my hands off. And I like the edges fluted because I think it's pretty. So I go around and make this little wave pattern around the edge of my pie plate. And voila, one pie. So I hope you like summer pies too, and that you enjoy them in a nice handmade pie plate, because they bake way better in clay. So bon appetit, nice to see you. See you next time, bye.